First of all, I would like to say some things, and that is that this guide is incredibly long. It is in 5 parts, and honestly I may have gone overboard in writing this guide. This guide was created with the intention of helping completely new people that have never played any Mass Effect at all play Mass Effect Andromeda Multiplayer. You may learn something if you're a veteran, you may not, I can't tell, but this is created for the intention of very new people. This guide wasn't done alone, you have these people to thank as well, whether they helped me directly or indirectly, that doesn't matter, these people have helped create this guide, and they are as follows. What's up everyone, hope you had a great day. Lethal Concept here, back to bring you my complete beginner's guide. The ultimate beginner's guide to Mass Effect Andromeda Multiplayer. This is all you need to know about Mass Effect Andromeda Multiplayer, even if you've never played the original Mass Effect trilogy or any of the games, single player or multiplayer. From here on, I will be referring to Mass Effect Andromeda Multiplayer as MEA for short. Not using MP for multiplayer because this is solely focused on multiplayer, and you can assume that I'm talking about it as such. Now, let's have a quick overview of what the game is about. Since the game is originally meant for single player, we need to go over a bit about what the single player is about. To summarize it completely, races from different worlds and different systems compete for resources and available worlds to colonize. Human along with other Alliance races attempt to seek and colonize worlds. Therefore we meet hostile factions and enter into a galactic war. Now, MEA Multiplayer focuses on what essentially are Alliance Special Strike Team forces called Apex Teams that are sent to do various objectives from the Alliance race. These can range from killing high priority targets, obtaining data and information, and securing devices. You take part as one of 4 specialized team members sent into enemy lines with 3 others played by other people. The game revolves around a horde-based mode with several RPG elements such as classes with specialized abilities which help them perform certain class roles, whether it be tanking, support, or DPS. You also have unlockable equipment and upgradable powers. The current iteration of the game has 3 difficulties, which are Bronze, Silver, and Gold. Bronze is where everyone should start off if you are just beginning. As you go up a difficulty, enemies spawn more per wave and they have more health, ×2 for Silver and ×3 for Gold. They also deal more damage, but you also gain more rewards, credits, and experience points. While the game recommends using character level to determine what difficulty you tackle, 1 to 10 for Bronze, 11 to 15 for Silver, 16 to 20 for Gold, some character kits allow for a knowledgeable player to be able to skip some levels and transition into high difficulties faster. Some of this also relates to player experience and how well you are able to perform. A general rule of thumb is that if you feel you are able to perform well at your current difficulty and the current difficulty is a breeze for you, you should want to consider trying the next difficulty. Some of the baseline requirements that should be cleared before you try the next difficulty and the harder ones are: for you to 0 deaths, contribute to objective waves and have a knowledge on how to tackle them, able to kill enemies in a timely fashion, map knowledge, and able to support teammates. Now, while this is not necessary at Bronze when you're just starting out, this is definitely a good baseline when starting Silver and definitely a requirement for smooth runs at Gold, as some of the higher threat enemies start spawning more frequently and earlier when running the harder difficulties. So what the hell happens in each match? Well, each match is made up of 7 waves with 3 special waves at waves 3, 6, and 7. Non-special waves require you to survive against hordes of enemies of various strength. So let's first talk about the waves. Before each wave starts, there's a brief delay before mobs and mooks spawn. This is where you'll see mostly everyone setting up, whether it be taking tactical height advantage, setting up in defensible positions, or precasting skills or grabbing ammo. Each map has the same spawn locations and the same extraction locations, and these are differentiated by different maps. Waves 1, 2, and 5. These are your standard fight and survive waves. Enemies spawn mostly away from you and take the most direct route towards you, or if the AI is programmed in a certain way, move towards a set distance away from you. You can expect fire from any direction, so you must use cover, skills, maneuverability, and your own wit to survive. There is no time limit, so it is until all 4 of you die or all the enemies die. Now onto your special waves. These are waves 3 and 6, and I'll talk about 7 later. So waves 3 and 6 are your objective waves chosen out of 4 objectives at random. As of the writing of this guide, there is a 5th on the way that I'll describe last, however do not fret if you cannot find this wave. It just means that it isn't in game yet. So all objectives are timed, and extra time is given upon completing objectives that have you doing objectives one after the other. You lose if you cannot complete objectives before the time runs out. The first one that I'll talk about is called the hack objective. An area on the map is marked, and at least one player must stand inside it to move the progress bar. The progress bar moves faster with more players standing inside the indicated area, and while this may sound that you want all players inside the hack, it may be beneficial to have some players in key parts of the map away from the hack, drawing fire and drawing aggro. If all players leave the area, the progress bar stops. The progress on the progress bar will not disappear or not decline when you are out of the area, it just simply freezes. The second objective is called upload. Now it's kind of the same as hack, except now you have to do it for 3 areas labelled A, B and C on the map. There is no order and you can do them all simultaneously, but it's often considered the hardest of the objectives because unlike hack, your progress bar can decline once you are out of the area. Not only that, but your progress bar can also hold if an enemy walks within the circle as well. Progress bar progression is not affected by having more players in the area. The third one is assassination or high value targets. An orange marker is placed upon an enemy on the map and you are required to remove the target by killing them. 4 targets total will be marked, one after the other. On high difficulties, the first target can quite likely be the boss mob of the race that you are facing. The fourth objective is called devices. Now, an object spawns randomly on the map requiring any player to interact it for 3 seconds. Afterwards, a device spawns and you must repeat this process until you have successfully completed and interacted with 4 devices total. While interacting with the device, the person is vulnerable and cannot use powers, however they can use the heal consumable, which I'll go into consumables a bit later on. The fifth one that is currently not in the map mode yet is called delivery and retrieval. Currently not in the game, delivery requires you to pick up an object and make your way to the drop-off point. You move slower while carrying them, but that only applies if you walk, since you can still reportedly dash and jump with the object. Now last of all, there is wave 7. Now this is your extraction wave. This wave lasts only 2 minutes, in which at the end of the 2 minutes you have to enter a certain map highlighted to get extracted. Full extraction is given when all 4 members of the Apex team are extracted, and partial extraction if there is less than 4. While this does give less rewards, the deficit isn't so major that if you don't get a full extraction, people will be like berating you and resenting you for not reaching the full extraction in time. While I didn't go in depth into how you should do these waves and the ways you can tackle them, I decided to give you a more general outline of what the objectives are. Different kits and different playstyles handle these objectives differently. Also, it's in my opinion more fun tackling objectives without a set strategy in mind when you're just starting out and building upon your knowledge than me just telling you straight up what you should do. Now, however, at the very last part of this guide, I will have a bronze, silver and gold gameplay footage using one of the basic classes, so if you're interested to see how that plays out or how the difficulties plays out, you can check those videos then. That's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed the content. Part 2 will be about races you fight against. This is just part 1 introduction to MEA multiplayer. Hope to see you next time. Thanks for watching. See you then.